major national debate is underway as Nigeria reviews its constitution. A key issue is the potential restructuring of local governments. In Imo State, there's a strong push to divide the large Ngor, Okpala local government area into smaller new councils. Supporters argue the current single council is too large to effectively serve its many communities. They say creating new smaller councils will bring government closer to the people. This could lead to better services, more local projects, and improved economic development. However, critics warn the move could lead to political fragmentation. They're concerned it might create more bureaucracy and competition for limited state resources. Any change would require a complex constitutional amendment. The outcome will depend on the ongoing national review process. And joining us to throw more light on the call to create additional local government councils out of the present Ngor, Okpala local government area in Imo State in the ongoing constitutional review is a lawyer, Patrice Akwara. Welcome to the show. It's good to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
Very good. So from your own perspective, why is there a need to create more local government councils out of the present Ngor, Okpala local government area?
Thank you very much. Yes, there is a very present and compelling need to create another 3 additional local governments from the present Ngor, Okpala, being that, you know, when you devolve governance to the masses, when you devolve governance to the grassroots, you know, the government mechanism become more effective, and the dividends of democracy, you know, reaches down to the people. The more you concentrate government over in one single unit over a very large expanse of area and with a very large group of people being governed by, you know, maybe one central unit that is not fully representative, it sort of marginalizes the people. It's sort of the dividends of democracy, the dividends of good governance, the dividends of modern society, infrastructure, you know, it doesn't really go down. For example, if, let's say, federal allocation funds being allocated to 3 local governments, you notice that if there's only one unit of allocation in a very large area, what that single allocation can achieve in terms of infrastructure, in terms of healthcare, in terms of education, in terms of, you know, development of that given area will be minimal. But if, like Ngor, Okpala, Ngor, Okpala is one of the largest local government areas in the country, with population, also with land mass, and yet, in fact, like I said the other day, it is still in that colonial county council mode. Other county councils have been, the governance have been devolved into 3 or more additional local governments. But Ngor, Okpala is still locked up in that colonial era county council. So you can imagine what it means when the allocation or centralization of government in a given area that is so large, so big, and yet it's only receiving federal allocation, it's only receiving the organs of government that can drive development in that area. All these infrastructures I talked about, all these amenities, all these you know, social engineering that cannot reach the people, education, call it education, call it healthcare, you know, all these things cannot reach the people. Market, economic activity cannot be driven. So if Ngor, Okpala is balkanized into 3 additional local governments in line with its size in terms of population, in terms of land mass. In fact, Ngor, Okpala is the host community that hosts the Imo airport. It is the single international cargo airport in the southeast, and yet it has only one single local government. So these are the derivatives, and these are the needs that is compelling the advocacy and our petition demanding for additional local governments from Okpala.
Well, thankfully, you are a legal practitioner, so it will be easy for you to run us through the process of having or achieving these new local government areas within the same local government of the local government that you are clamoring for. Talk to us about what this process will be like and how achievable is this, especially looking at the fact that there is an ongoing constitutional review. Does this present an opportunity to achieve this subdivision that you are clamoring for?
Yes, you know, we have a president that is a man of foresight. If you can recall, when our president was the governor of Lagos State, in his wisdom, he created, 57 local government areas in Lagos State, although the then president, Olusegun Obasanjo, did not agree, did not agree, so he converted them to development councils. It was to drive development to get it nearer to the people. So with that in mind, I believe that our president, now the then governor of Lagos State, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is now the president of Nigeria, he has demonstrated this foresight by doing what I said earlier he did. So the issue of the constitutional processes, he has also set in motion, he has also led the National Assembly to put in motion processes of amending the constitution. You know, Nigeria's constitution is a rigid constitution, and creation of local government is a constitutional process because the local government is part of the schedule of the Nigerian constitution. So, being a rigid constitution, there are very stringent processes that ought to be followed in creating the local government. And we at Okpala, myself as the chairman of the Constitutional Amendment Committee of Okpala Local Government Area in Imo State, and being a lawyer, like you rightly said, I'm aware of all these constitutional steps, and we have met some of them, and we're still in the process of meeting some of them. Now, let me enumerate some of the processes. Under Section 8 of the Constitution, the area desiring to have local government created from their area must, get two-thirds votes from their from their local government council, also two-thirds votes from their state legislature, two-thirds votes from the both chambers of the National Assembly, that is the Federal House and the Senate. So when you satisfy that criteria, then when the National Assembly votes and passes into, or rather completes their legislative action, they will send it to the states, and there must be votes from all the 36 states, and if you get 1/3 of their votes, then the amendment will pass and your council will be created. So we are in the process, and we have put a lot of things into work to ensure that Okpala, the 3 local governments that we are aspiring to come from Okpala, we meet the criteria. If you were at the public hearing the other day at Transcorp, where the National Assembly concluded the public hearing on constitutional amendment, you see that the whole Nigeria came there. The Alaafin of Oyo was there, the Obi of Onitsha was there, the Eze Imo was there. Name it, from the north, from the south, from all the critical stakeholders. The women group were there. In fact, Nigeria emptied up at the at Transcorp Hilton at that public hearing. That's to show you the seriousness that these advocacy groups who are desirous of this constitutional amendment in their favor attach to satisfy the constitutional provision precedent to the constitutional amendment in their favor, either for any alteration in terms of any section of the constitution, or creation of states, or creation of additional local government from their area. So we are well aware, and we have virtually satisfied the constitutional steps precedent to the creation of additional local government area from Okpala.
Very good. Beyond the advocacy group, let's talk about the people themselves of Okpala in that region. How are they desirous of this need to have more local governments coming from their fold, as it were? Briefly, please.
Yes, thank you. The people are upbeat. Some time ago, we had a general stakeholders meeting at the palace of Eze Ngor, the chairman of Ngor Traditional Rulers Committee, that is Oboro one of Umuneke, Eze Nwachukwu, and who in Ngor came. Also Ngor indigenes, residents outside Nigeria, especially the Ngor citizens in America, called NOSHA. NOSHA is geared towards ensuring that additional local governments are created from Okpala. NOSHA, America, they are solidly behind us. Every critical stakeholder, from our local government chairman, Chief Mrs. Chika Ibekwe, to our House of Representative member, Attorney Matthew Wogwala, and Obinna Egu, our representative at Imo State House of Assembly, and all the members of my committee, and all of us, all the Ezes, all the youths, all the women, we've been holding several meetings at various levels, sensitizing our people, creating the awareness, and everybody is excited that at this time, because let me tell you, it didn't just start now. I recall that my father, who was the leader of council at the time, and a lot of other leaders in Okpala prior to now, had been in the forefront for the additional creation of local governments from Okpala. Because if you go to, I wish I could show you the infrastructure decadence level in Okpala. We are like a fourth, I don't know how to even put it. We have no road. Apart from the airport that is sited there, Okpala is like we are just at the backyard of this country. And we have had representatives in the past. I drove home the other time. I went home. I couldn't even access the local government area. But thank God for the present governor and our sister Chika Ibekwe. They have been trying to give a facelift to Okpala. So it is a legendary type of marginalization that our people have suffered, and this is the time that our people had really come up with one voice, like a bunch of people that are bound together in one affinity, in one hope. We are geared towards achieving this creation of additional local government, and we are calling on Mr. President, and we are calling on the Senate President, we are calling on the Speaker of the Federal House, and our brother, the Deputy Senate President, the Deputy Speaker of the Federal House, Barrister Benjamin Carl, to assist our area, Okpala, to emerge from this decade-long marginalization and hear our voice, our one voice, right, and help us to create additional local government to drive development in our area.
All I hear from what you're saying is some form of increased bureaucracy and increased cost of governance, but I hope that you're putting all of that into consideration too. I'd like to thank you for your time, Mr. Patrice Akwara, yes, lawyer. Thank you for joining us on Newsday.